Welcome to another episode of Beyond the Beef, where we not only talk about business problems, we talk about business solutions. James, welcome back.
Hey, welcome back, Bob. Good to see you again.
You too. Hey, this is like we're actually doing it.
I know, right?
This is not like this. I don't know how often I don't think we need to be on a schedule, do we?
No,
like
I don't think
every
so.
Friday or like.
Yeah,
there's no way we're going to do that.
Do it when we feel it and run with it, right? I think that's the best way to do it.
That's
sure.
exactly right. So the last episode felt really good, man.
It did.
I loved it.
It did. It was nice to see.
It was. And I think we got like our fans started.
Yeah, we got some people saying, "Oh, welcome back." Yeah. And I had some new people actually contact me, like, "Oh, what's this Beyond the Beef thing?" You know, because it's been a few years, so I've made a few more friends, like two. But
yeah,
they were like, "What is this thing?" And are you going to keep doing this? And is this something you guys are going to go forward with? I'm like, yeah, follow us. You'll find out, learn more.
Absolutely, that's cool. Right. It's cool. I love it. Yeah. I have to admit, though, my story I told about my gym.
Oh, don't even try telling me you went back.
I went back.
So you didn't cancel it, did you?
No, I did. I canceled it.
Oh.
But then after the episode, I said, I'm going to go and see, because I felt a little guilty and fat, right? So I was like, I'm going to go see if they have actually improved things.
Yeah.
And as it turns out, it wasn't bad. They actually did. So they incorporated some systems, other things. I won't go into all of it, but they actually did some things that I felt added value. Plus, they were able to space things out so you can get the gym at any time you want. So now my wife's gym, not at all. So that story is still exactly the same.
So did she stop going to her gym? Is she not going to her gym?
Because they went down the road that we were talking about, like continue to pay the same, but if you get the equipment, you get the equipment. If you don't, now the only problem with my gym is that I will say there's much more limited equipment because of spacing.
Sure.
Or distancing or whatever.
Sure.
So but
you probably have fewer people going, right? I mean,
that's why I'm okay so far.
Yeah.
But in the one time I've gone, but
I can see a difference already. By the way, your face, your face is a little thinner. I don't know.
Right?
Yeah, it looks good. You look good.
Yeah, but anyway, we'll see what happens. But I still stick to if the value isn't there, I'm out.
Well, they had to impress you.
Yeah,
quite honestly, they had to go above that line, right? They were a little bit below it. They had to go above that line to get you to be level, and they did it. So
I had
good
a long
job.
conversation. I called them. I had a long conversation. It was like, here's where I'm at. This is what's going on.
Yeah.
And they did what I said. So listen, I'm
kudos
a fair
to them.
man. I'm a fair man. I just don't beef. I try and solve.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. You give them a chance. Give credit where credit's due.
Give credit where credit's due. So if this holds, which I don't know if it will or not, but look for some.
What's your plan? You're going to go a couple days a week? Are you looking for 3 days a week? Once a week, just to kind of get into it? Don't hurt yourself. Start slow.
That's what I'm thinking, right? I just
want a slow walk, and then maybe you pace yourself up a little bit.
I just want to feel like if I start feeling like, things are not feeling good, I'll go to the gym.
Yeah.
It's like very reactive, Jim.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I got to get there before I hurt myself. Good.
That's exactly right. Yeah. So anyway, there you go. So that's my follow-up. But I do have another completely new beef.
Let's do it.
Let's
talk about it. Let's make it happen.
Okay. So this one actually follows up on last episode as well. Okay. Which, of course, last episode we were talking about the cable companies, right?
Yes, we were.
That has not
due to COVID, I think was the last one, right? It was due to COVID. Now, by the way, every time somebody says it or I read it or I see it, I think about the episode. I've even sent you like some pictures on text. I'm like, due to COVID, we're doing this, isn't it?
They say it a lot, right? And it's more than
it happens all the time.
Yeah. I was actually thinking after the episode, I was like, did we exaggerate that? We did not at all.
No.
It's still being used as an excuse everywhere, right? It's crazy.
For sure.
And there's probably 20 episodes we could do on that. But but okay, so this one does have to do with like kind of following through on the cable thing, because I've had more issues since then. Again, not worth getting into all the details, except I can't tell you how much time I spent trying to fix my internet connection. Right? I had a big problem. And here's the end of the story. It turned out to be that I had a rented from them router/modem combination.
Which is typical.
Which is typical, but it wasn't working. It was dropping all the time, whatever else. And no one can figure out why. Somebody finally said, well, there's too many devices on it, so you have to increase your speed. And so I did that. And long story short, that equipment didn't work, all this other stuff. And so what I had to end up doing was researching on my own and found out that using a mesh network of some type is the solution, because it shares devices along these different things. And so but the cable company, the internet company, did not provide this solution to me, right?
Right.
And furthermore, every time I called, and when I'm telling you there's no exaggeration, I probably talked to 10 different people, right? Across 10 different times, probably even more than that. And the problem was that everybody kept giving me a different answer.
Yeah.
Okay. As to what they thought the problem was, what the problem was. And then when I started saying, okay, what solutions do you have? They would give me different solutions. Like, I would ask, what kind of modems do you have and what kind of speed do you have with those modems? And I literally got different answers from different people. And then when things
all these people within the cable company,
all the people that worked for the cable company, and this is only one example. I don't want to pick too much on them.
We'll take this one though. Yeah, okay.
But this is exactly what happened.
Yeah.
And the point is, then this happened with other companies as well, right? I started noticing, like, anytime I had a technical issue, I would call up, and people didn't know how to solve the problems, right?
Yeah.
And I had even issues with government agencies, and they had things like, the computer spit something out, and then we don't know why the computer spit this out. And it started making me think about, I believe that our technology has surpassed our ability to support it, right? Because it's like relatively few people that within a company, let's say, that are developing the technology, and a relatively large number of people that are asked to support it. And I believe there's a huge disconnect between those numbers, right?
Yeah.
So people don't know how to operate or utilize or support the technology that they're selling you and that I'm paying for.
For sure.
Okay, so I throw this back out.
Yeah.
What's your experience here?
Well, if I think about the experience, I got to think about experience as early as this morning, to be honest with you. I was designing and creating, and I used this program in order to design and create some posts and different marketing pieces and different things I put together for my company and for us, for Beyond the Beef, that people will see through Instagram or through Facebook or through whatever else, right? And working within that program, I realized that I was able to put some things together, but I wasn't able to then utilize it with another program. So I had to download it, save it. I literally had to text it to myself. So I created this picture and this design using this program, which works great. But in order for me to get it on my phone, in order to be able to post it or utilize another program, I had to text it to myself, then open it, save it as a picture, then import it into another program in order to then put the finishing touches on it before I was then able to then post it. Yeah. Right. And I'm sitting there going, well, why aren't we more streamlined? Why aren't we able to do this? Right. I didn't necessarily reach out to anybody at that point in time. But I said, this is a commonly used program. This is a commonly used process. I'm not using, some foreign device. I'm using my phone that is everywhere. Many people probably do this, right? So why are there these multiple steps, and why is it so convoluted and so complex? And this thing that should have taken me, by the way, because I was doing it, I was just trying to do it quick and get it out there and be able to communicate, because, speed is everything with this stuff. It took me 2 hours.
Well, this is the point. Now let's take that to so what you're talking to is the complexity of all this stuff, which we deal with every single day.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, if you needed to try and reach out to someone to solve that problem, could you have easily? Right. This is no way, right? You couldn't have easily. Like most of the tech companies that I work with, outside of I'm actually grateful to my cable company. I give them one shout out, is that I actually lately was able to get them on the phone at some point. It wasn't always easy, but whatever. Yeah, but at least I could talk to a person now.
For sure.
The person didn't know what they were doing, but
hey, something's better than that, right?
Right. But at the end of the day, like, many of these software companies, they don't even give you that option. They remove the phone number, and they send you through all these different steps to go through the FAQs and all this other stuff, but you can't get the support you need because they don't have the people to support it.
Yeah, exactly. Right? Probably for that very reason, right? And honestly, in this day and age where everybody's so concerned, especially from a technology perspective, with having quick, more releases, having them happen fast, right? When bam, we have a new feature, that nobody even knows all the features that happen with these products anymore. Right. So nobody can support it. So they throw it out there because speed is everything, rapid, agile world, right? Build it, launch it, put it out there, that the support isn't there. And therefore, we're like, and by the way, we use probably 5% of these things that are in these programs.
That's the problem. And
right?
They're not, I don't think they're treating, and of course, we're in the product space, right? So we understand all this stuff maybe a little more deeply than most, because we're good that way. But we just happen to be product teachers.
Product guys.
Product teachers. But at the end of the day, I think the point is they're not seeing the support element as part of the product, right? They're seeing the product as the product, and then the support is like secondary. So if you have a problem with it, well, maybe we'll be able to help you, maybe not. 100%. But that's it. But it's like that is a huge problem to me. And so I can't navigate some of this stuff, and they can't navigate some of this stuff. And then you're stuck. And when it's something like a modem or internet or things like that, like I was out of business for literally 2 complete days.
Yeah.
Out of business, and nobody could help me. It was
for sure.
It was terrifying. I was scared, man.
Yeah. But here's the thing, right? With no internet. You know what to do with yourself. Like open a ball and cry in the shower, right?
Right. Yeah. I had to talk to my family. It was like terrible. I was absolutely, I didn't know what to do.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
But you know what part of the problem is too, though, is with your cable company, they didn't have the mesh system per se as a solution.
They didn't.
They
didn't know about it or they weren't able to say it. Maybe somebody knew, but they weren't able to talk about it.
It goes to almost that value.
Yeah.
If they turned to you and said, we don't offer this right now, but it would probably help you if you did this, this, and this with the mesh system. You have different points and be able to connect. And because I had to do the same thing in my home, and they didn't tell me that either. They didn't talk to me about it. They talked, you have the newest thing. I don't know what could be going on, but it goes to, if they did, well, talk about the value that they'd be adding and the things they'd be able to do. And you'd look back, oh my gosh, they actually referred me somewhere else.
Right. And I would say that was an amazing experience, right? Because that is clearly the solution. And I had to go on the online forums and things like that to find out. But for some reason, they either didn't know about it, weren't able to. I don't know what the reason was that they didn't offer the solution, but they didn't. And worse than that, they gave me wrong information about the stuff that I had. Like when I asked, okay, with this speed, do I get a standalone modem or do I get a modem router? And I literally got 2 different answers from 3 different people, right? Like, so it's like, it's just weird how, and I don't blame those people. They're very nice people that I was talking to, but they're not trained properly because again, it's almost like the support is secondary.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a different group that's doing it or something is wrong there. But, but at the end of the day, I had to come to this on my own and it wasn't easy. Right. So I'm thinking now though, who else could have told me about a mesh system was you.
Me. Yeah.
Because you have one apparently and I didn't.
And somehow or another, I didn't know that your Wi-Fi was down for 2 days.
Because I didn't think to call you.
Because you were in such a deep state of depression that you couldn't even lift your head off the pillow. You could, I'm so sad I have no Wi-Fi. Somebody, you were just crying. You were in a puddle. Yeah.
It is really nuts though, because we went through that big storm here not too long ago in the area that we live. And I was out then for like 5 days, right? Or maybe 4 or 5. Yeah. And it was crazy. Like it came to the point where back in the 80s, right? I went through a hurricane. I lived on Long Island. It was like Hurricane Gloria, I remember. And you remember Gloria?
Yeah, for sure.
But you were in Connecticut at the time, right?
Yeah,
so you didn't really feel
it. Sorry, I didn't get as bad as we got Long Islanders over there. I know, you guys, everything's
rough, really rough. But we're tough, tough.
I know.
But at the end of the day, we lost power. And I remember being the worst thing in the world. Like, oh my God, do you lose power? This time around, we lost power. I didn't even feel the power. Like I could have lived without power for months. It was the internet. That was the problem.
The fact that the power turns the internet on was the problem.
That's all because I had the phone, right? So like without the power, I still had the phone. Once the phone went out, because apparently the towers use... Yeah. They must have battery backup, and once those depleted, then there was no signal, right? And once that went out, I was like, "Uh-oh!"
Yeah, we had this.
Now I'm stranded. Now
what do I do? It's funny because we had the same thing going on, and we had what they called a macro burst, which was like a mini tornado that tore things down, and it hurt the towers. So you couldn't even have Wi-Fi service. Now you didn't have Wi-Fi service. You didn't have your phone service, no cell service to get your hotspot going. You had no power. You had nothing. Yeah. I was like, oh my God, what are we going to do?
Oh, it was crazy.
I don't even know how I'm going to live my life, right? People were driving places just to be able to get some cell tower service. different locations and then sitting in their cars and working.
Yeah. I was in a rest area. I was literally in a rest area. I was like, what the heck is this?
But what am I doing? Right.
But this is all back to the same thing, that things have become so complex. But I think if we kind of move to a solution, right? My thought process is this. Companies need to not separate support from their products. They need to realize that those things are integrally related. And if you're going to sell a complex system, a complex product, whatever that complexity may be, you have to be ready to support it, which means training your people, giving people a place to call in. Don't give me this crap about like, we don't have a contact phone number. You email us and we'll get back to you. Or that you do some automated chat bot or something like that.
Despise it.
That's gross to me. I mean, I was going to say it should be illegal. That's ridiculous. But honestly, like, I don't want to do business with companies like that.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to become more and more of a trend. Like, we need to be able to talk to someone to step us through being able to support these kinds of things. If you're not prepared to offer that as a product, you have no business offering a complex product, in my opinion. Right?
For sure. And I'll add a couple more things to that. Yeah, I believe that we are, from a technology perspective, moving so fast that oftentimes whatever we're bringing to the table, our benefit, whatever we're bringing out there is unrecognized because there's not support, right? So we're just doing this stuff because we feel we need to, and it's not recognized or it's not supported. Nobody can talk about it. The support is so important. And again, to reiterate kind of what you're saying, I need to be able to speak with someone. What I don't want to do is type my question in a general FAQ section and never get a response, right? And be like, well, does this answer your question? No, it doesn't. Now what do I do?
I type this question in the chat bot and it sends me to the FAQ. Did you turn the power on? I turned the power on.
Did you unplug it and wait 5 seconds? Right. Yes. I tried everything we got there. Right?
I'm not an idiot, right? I need a solution.
I need a solution. And it's not that simple. It's never that simple. I've never been like, oh, look, there's the answer right there. I'll try that. It's never once happened with anything I've been doing. Now, with that said, I don't need to physically speak to somebody on the phone. This is my own personal preference, because I don't necessarily need to wait for 45 minutes or a half an hour or have you call me back in 3 days when you get somebody free. I can chat with someone, but they've got to be a human. Don't make me chat and be like, here's my problem. Maybe this is your answer.
My automated,
Hi, my name is Steve, the automated response. Right. All right, Steve, well, go away. I need a human being to be able to talk to explain this. Now,
unless I don't have internet.
Unless, of course, I don't have internet. Then I need a telephone. Unless I don't have telephone, then I need smoke signals or something like that. I don't know. Give me something for the love
Morse
of God,
code.
Right? Morse code. Exactly. Go to my house. I don't know. Give me a land. Give me a brick and mortar building I can go to talk to somebody. I don't know the answer.
Right.
But it's just a matter of we're speeding along, right? We're moving quick, and I get it. I understand.
Quicker than we can support it.
Keeping up with pace, but quicker than we can support it. And we'll always need support. No matter how great your product is, no matter how perfect it is, no matter what's going on out there, there's always some support necessary. And I've always felt, and I know we've talked about this before, the service and your support will make me or break me from a whether or not I'm going to use your product.
Yeah, that's right.
I will pay extra for great support. Period.
And if you're a company that's doing this kind of thing, the other thing I would urge companies to not do is have their support people say, oh, the computer says this, or the computer does it. Like, I remember, watching episodes of The Twilight Zone or, things like that, the sci-fi movies of the 50s and stuff where the toasters would take over the world, and we like think about, that's ridiculous, but it's kind of what's happened, right? It's not quite that way where there's these like robots that are coming
Well, if your service person says, I'm reading my toaster and my toaster says this is the problem, then we got a real problem.
Right. That's a whole, but it is kind of the same thing when, you talk to somebody and they say, well, the computer says this. I don't know why it's saying that. Well, you know what?
I called you.
You need to know. And don't ever so we are letting the technology and the computers and everything else get more powerful than the people.
Yeah.
That goes nowhere good. And with AI and all this other stuff and, autonomous vehicles and there's some scary things that,
for sure.
If we can't handle this, I mean, I'm a little afraid.
It's going to get bigger. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So I'll put my plea out there to companies is make sure that the technology doesn't surpass you. Right? That's right. That's kind of my solution out there.
That's right.
Whatever that's worth. So
I agree. I'm with you.
We'll see.
For sure.
Anyway, so there you go. Is that a good one?
Yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one because not only did you experience that, I had this real frustrations this morning too. And I'm like, if there was something quick that I could get an answer, that I could talk to someone, I could chat with someone, I could do something, I could figure this out. But everything's disjointed. And then there's not a service to be able to tell me how to put it the right way, how to make my life easier. How do I do this? And it's been tough. It's tough. And it takes time. It takes time.
It's been tough.
I don't have time like this. I've got 4 kids schooling from home. This is crazy.
Computers did not make my life easier. No. That's the whole point. Anyway, okay. We don't want to go too long because we got to save some stuff for other episodes. But I think that's a pretty good one. As always, if you enjoyed this episode, please give us a thumbs up. Please subscribe to the show. Please share it. Please tell your friends. We'd love for these messages to get out there and hopefully a lighthearted and funny way. Some things that frustrate us all. So we love that you're joining us. And I think that's all right. Anything else to wrap up on your end?
Just if they want to leave any comments, any ideas, anything for us to talk about, comment, let us know because we will talk about them. They're always looking for feedback from everybody who's listening.
Yeah, that's right. And we have one for next week that we're going to do as well, right from a user. So that's our listener, viewer, whatever we want to call it. So awesome. All right, good. So we'll wait for that one. And until then, we'll see you back here on another episode of
Beyond the Beef.
Talk to you soon.
See you later, guys.